Hello, Shapiro family. Today, I'd like to talk to you about our safety procedures here at Shapiro. But since I am in my office independently with my door closed, I'm going to go ahead and take off my mask so that you can hear me clearly. So I'm excited to be back with our Shapiro family. I want to remind you of the lesson we talked about with Mateo. Let's see, where is that book? And really seeing things. There we go. Mateo finds as well. Seeing things here at school as well as at home as a glass half full and not half empty. Really looking for the positive in things. I gave one example of my mask. I could see it as a negative, as it's kind of hot and it's hard to hear, or I could really see the positive in it, and it allows me to come share a story with your classroom or be present here at school, and for all of you to be here at school as well. So with that, I'm going to share my screen because my goal is to just revisit some of our safety drills we have at Shapiro. So let me go ahead and begin. I'd like to start by, first of all, just reviewing our Sit Smart. I know all of you have reviewed these in your classrooms. When we ask for sitting smart, whether it's in music or in your classroom, you're sitting nice and tall, your eyes are on the speaker, your ears are listening, and really your brain is thinking, okay, what am I hearing? And how can I engage with what I'm hearing? And your hands and feet are quiet and to yourself. That's showing you're respectful, responsible, and safe here at Shapiro. And that's what it looks like to sit smart. With that, really it starts with why are we here? And at this time, I'm going to ask staff, you can go ahead and pause this recording and just share with your class, why are you here at school? What's your why? My why is I love what I do. I'm so fortunate to be able to come to school every day and see kids learning and eager to be inquisitive and find out new things. And I want students to think about also, why are you here? What is your purpose? I remember in the past, some students were like, well, my mom and dad dropped me off. Well, why do your parents drop you off? Just keep asking yourself why, until you get to really the main purpose of why you're here at school. So staff at this time, if you'd like to go ahead and ask your students, why are they here? And keep asking why to see if you can find that bigger picture of why students are here at school. And in order for us to support our why, we really need to have a respectful, responsible, and safe learning environment. And with that, our goal is to review our safety drills. And students, by the end of this presentation, if you met this goal, you should be able to not only name the safety drills we have here at Shapiro, but also to tell why we have them as well. So with that, the first one we're going to talk about is a fire drill. First of all, what is the purpose? Obviously, a fire drill, just like you practice, whether it's at home or at school, is to be safe outside of a building, and you're practicing in case there was a fire. Now, what does that look like? It may look a little bit different here at Shapiro than it does at home. Just like at home, you have a meeting spot if you ever had a fire drill practice, because we want to make sure that everyone is accounted for and safe. Well, here at school, what it's going to look like is you are going to put your eyes on your teacher and they are going to give you direction. You're going to go out your closest door to your station number, and you're going to go to a designated meeting spot, which would be away from the building, and then a designated spot where you stop. Your teacher is going to make sure that everyone is accounted for, and you're going to notice that we have some folders. The adults have folders, and on one side there's green and the other side it's red, and this is just to indicate that all of the students are present or someone is missing. This year, our drills are going to look a little bit different. Since we want to keep ourselves safe, and our job is to keep you safe, and your job, students, is to keep it that way, we won't be practicing drills as an entire school, as to not gather large number of students and adults in one area. So this year, the fire drill is going to be every month, just like in the past. That is state law, but it's going to be with just your classroom as to not mix cohorts of students. What does an evacuation and a reverse evacuation, what is its purpose? The purpose of an evacuation is to get out of the building safely. And a more organized evacuation would be, for example, if maybe there was water or pipes burst in the school where there was water that was flooding the floor, and we needed to go to a different learning environment to keep the learning going. Well, our evacuation spot is your meeting spots where those white footprints are, and it's socially distanced. It says please socially distance. That is your grade level meeting spot for if we were ever to have an evacuation. And know that our safe spot would be walking to South Park Middle School, which is down Knapp to the right, and going right past or right into the school on South Park. And we would be directed either into their gymnasium or their cafeteria, and then we'd wait for further direction. A reverse evacuation would be a communication out on the speaker or maybe a loud microphone to letting you know at this time we're doing a reverse evacuation and it's getting into the building quickly. For these, it's really paying attention to your teacher or a safekeeper's direction. What does it look like? I explained that. And again, the purpose of understanding those evacuations. We'll talk a little bit more about an unplanned evacuation when we talk about Alice. We've in the past practiced a tornado drill as well. At home, you may have practiced going to a safe place in your house. Well, the purpose at school is the same thing. The purpose is to find a safe place within the school building. What does it look like? If you look at the picture, you see that students are covering their head and protecting their head. And if you could hear them, which you can't, it's just a picture, but if you could, it would be very nice and quiet to allow adults to be able to communicate if there's a message that needs to be shared out with students or with staff. There's something also called a hold. And when we talk about the purpose of a hold, for example, let's say someone got injured in the cafeteria and we needed to get support to them right away. We may say, at this time, we are practicing a hold over the loudspeaker. And that means students are returned back to their stations and they're staying in their stations until further communication. When in stations, it's business as usual and continuing to learn. For example, actually, not everyone is going to return back to their station. If you are in gym, art, or music, and there's a hold, you're going to stay right with that teacher until the hold is lifted. And again, it's probably because someone at some place in our building needs some help and we need to get the support they need without having students or people passing or transitioning to a special. It just makes it an easier way of supporting those that we need to support. And then you'll hear an announcement that the hold has been lifted. And that's what it looks like as well. There's something called the Alice drill. And remember, Alice, actually the A stands for alert, L is for lockdown or barricade and hide, I is for inform, C is counter, and E is evacuate. Now, this is just an easy way of remembering it. So you can think Alice, but in no way does it have to be A for the first thing you do, L for the second thing you do. The alert is we're just going to communicate clearly to all students and staff what's going on. And after that, it's really to the adults and your safekeepers to make the best decision. The next slide kind of explains it a little bit better. There's two easy ways of remembering it, run or evacuate. Only if you know from the information that you can do this safely and you want to exit the closest door. Or if the decision is made that exiting is not the safest decision, you're going to hide and barricade, and that's called a lockdown. It's really important to listen to your safekeepers. There's no right or wrong decisions. Your safekeeper will help you make the best decision. And remember, it's our job to keep you safe and the student's job to keep it that way. Your classroom teacher will be practicing the drills with you as a class. And this year, again, you'll be practicing these drills as as a classroom and not the entire school to ensure that we don't mix cohorts and keep them separate. All right, let's go back to our goal. Our goal was to review our safety drills. I want students to think, can I name our drills? And can I give the why behind why we practice these drills? If you can do that, then thumbs up, you've met our goal today. Your teacher throughout the week will be practicing these goals as a classroom with you to ensure that you feel comfortable and understand what the expectation is during these goals, or during these drills, I should say. Thank you for taking the time today. Your classroom teacher, especially the younger ones, I will have a story about superheroes, and they may be sharing that story with you to give you a little bit more information. But again, classroom teachers, please take time throughout the week after reviewing this slide and sharing this with your students to practice each of these drills, and then I will be asking that you record your practice. I will be reminding when drills need to be revisited, especially the fire drill monthly, to give you the opportunity, but it also gives you the flexibility to choose when you'd like to practice the drills as a classroom, since we will not be doing them as a whole school this year. And that's not just Shapiro STEM Academy, but that's our entire district. So thank you again, and remember, challenge, see things as the glass half full, and see if you're feeling kind of like Mateo in the story that I shared with being stuck, think about how can I see things differently, or how can I get myself unstuck. So thank you for taking the time to revisit drills, and your teacher will give you more further direction on practicing them. Have a great day.